All right, brother, so let me tell you the story about whenever I was scared as fuck, pissing my pants, because I was driving a boat 40 miles an hour that I did not know how to drive with 7 other people's lives in my hand. So, whenever I lived in Italy for the very short time that I did, right, we lived in Milan for a study abroad trip. And we went to Lake Como for a day because it's this beautiful lake, absolutely gorgeous, because it is on the border of Switzerland. So you saw the Swiss Alps, and then that met the lake, right? So the beautiful reflection of the mountains in the lake. Oh my God, such a cool place. But we found out that boat rentals there, if 8 of us rented out one boat, would only be about €5 per person, which is like $5, $6. But that's insane. So of course we had to go. Of course we had to make this day trip. And so we get on a train, we go there, right? We're finally getting in the boat. And we didn't think about this part. We didn't think about this, but when we were getting in the boat, the guy was like, all right, so who's gonna drive? So we all look at each other and like, none of us know how to drive a boat. Bro, none of us have ever driven a boat before. And I'm really proud that I was the one who was like, yeah, I'll do it. I'll drive the boat. I totally know how to drive boats. And this story really sticks out to me in my mind because this is the first time in my life where I had really taken to heart and implemented the advice of taking responsibility and doing the hard thing before you feel like you were ready. So when I did this, right, I put my hand on the steering wheel. I put my other hand on the go stick. And I was like, yeah, I totally know how to drive this boat. Pressed the go stick, and I went forward and almost crashed into the dock and almost hit the dude who was like loading us in. And I was like, oh shit, my bad. Figured out how to reverse it. A 12-point turned us out of there. And we started zooming, dude, going 40 miles an hour on the lake. And my heart was still beating. I was still scared as fuck, but I was driving the boat now. I was driving the fucking boat. And like, of course, at this point, everyone else was like, oh yeah, I totally could have driven the boat. I could totally drive the boat now that I've seen Luke drive the boat. I could totally do it. But like, I'm really proud, and maybe that's egotistical of me, but I'm proud that I'm the one who did that because I didn't used to be the guy. I did not used to be the kind of guy who would. And right now, more than ever, you need to hear this kind of video. And you might think that you don't, but young men today, especially those who did not have a strong connection with a father figure growing up, need to become more assertive. Not as a nice to have, but as an essential to get your needs met. Because if you get lonely, if you get sad, if it feels like every single time that you try and implement something, that you try and become better at social skills, right? And it just doesn't work. It falls flat somehow. I'm hoping that this is going to be the video to change it for you. My goal, my promise to you is that I'm going to explain to you not just confidence, but how to be overcome by it as a mode of being. And I'm going to explain it to you in a way that you've never heard before that is going to finally make it click. That is my hope. So if you don't already know me, my name is Luke Noble. I am creating a gang of like-minded young men who are no longer settling for the monotony and depression of living a life with average social skills. And if that sounds like something you want to be a part of, go ahead and hit the subscribe button right now. Our goal as a gang is by the end of this year, 2024, we are going to have 5,000 young men who don't just have one more friend, who aren't just a little bit less lonely, but are social fucking celebrities, bro. We're gonna make that happen. So because you know this is not an average YouTube video, I have to do some explanation up front because we're about to get deep. So the first thing is you need to know the difference between confidence and being overcome by confidence, this mode of being, right? I'm not just talking here about being confident in one aspect, in one area, right? You're confident in making a peanut butter jelly sandwich because you've done it 10,000 times before. I'm talking about having an air of confidence about you. Anywhere that you go, with anything that you do, you are authentic, you are you. You are just confident as fuck. You get this by looking at this very difficult to understand, very complex graph that I made. So don't even look at this part yet. This is where you are at. You have an idea. You're thinking. This is thoughts. Overthinking. And then you take action. A lot of times, you don't even take action. You don't even get to this part. And when you do, you've overthought it so much. You've overthought talking to this person. You've overthought going and approaching this girl. And so now you come off as weird if you do try and do it because you've thought of all the different things to say, all the different ways. It doesn't go as planned. So you come off as fucking weird. What you want, my friend, is to be down here, right? Where the gap between idea and action is much shorter. There's not much thinking. I'm about to give you pretty controversial advice of don't think before you act. Right? You've heard this all your life of think before you act. But that's gotten you all the way over here, where you are overthinking the fuck out of every situation. You're on this side of the spectrum, when you need to be in the sweet spot that's over here, right? Like, don't think before you act is really good advice for the people who are over here, who say shit all the time that they don't mean, who say shit because they just get emotional and they feel like saying shit and being mean. But that's not you, bro. You're not way over here yet. You're over here where you are thinking and thinking and thinking before you say anything. So stop thinking so much. Act without thinking, and you're gonna get closer and closer and closer and closer to the sweet spot. And until you get over here, bro, until you are here where you start saying shit you don't actually mean, and that's when you can bring it back. But until then, start closing that gap between idea and action, and stop thinking before you act, before you speak. That's what being overcome with confidence is. It's whenever that gap is shortened to nothing and you hit that sweet spot, right? Because you're just being authentic at that point. You don't have to think of what you say before you say it. You just say how you feel. That's just how you are. Because this is a hard truth, brother, I'm about to smack you with, is that your shy behavior is not you, bro. It is the mode of being that you have adopted to present yourself with, right? It's the script that you have adopted to keep you in this safety, this feeling of safeness in conversation, because you don't speak up. You don't say what you actually think. And you think it's because you're being considerate, right? Because you don't want to hurt these other people's feelings because you are caring. But really, bro, it's selfish. Because you don't care as much about the other person's feelings as you care about what other people think of you. And you don't want this feeling of being in trouble, right? Of pissing other people off. That's what you were avoiding right now. Boldness is outer directed, right? Being bold in conversation, it makes people more at ease because people can see your true intention. I talk about this with authenticity all the time. And this is how you gain trust, bro, because you know what other people are thinking when they're being authentic, right? Just think, who do you like being around, bro? The person that you don't know their thoughts, you don't know what they really want. Do they want something from you? Or are they just being them? You're not sure. No, you like being around the person who you know what they're thinking. I don't want to have people over at my crib who have to worry about all the time. Who I'm like, do you need water? Are you hungry? What do you want to do? I want someone who's like, yeah, bro, I'm thirsty. Can I go grab some water? Or they just fucking do it. Those are the kind of people I want around me because I don't have to step on eggshells, right? I trust them. I trust that they can take care of themselves, that they don't need me to do that for them. You're taking far more social L's in life, right? By protecting yourself in this way and other people's feelings, right? Than you do by being bold. And I will say, I'll smack you with another hard truth that you are going to have negative experiences. Some people are going to actively dislike you when you start acting in this bold manner. But this is good because a lot more other people are going to fucking love you, bro. Because this is what happens when you polarize. You get both sides of the spectrum. And the good news with this is that you choose the people you let into your life. The people in your life who you don't want, the fucking haters, bro, leave them behind. You don't have to hang out with them. You don't have to interact with them. Leave them behind. Take with you the people who you fucking love, who you want to be around all the time, because this is going to make life so much more fulfilling. Next fact for you, freaking communication fact right here, is that communication is 55% body language, 38% tone, and 7% words. You've probably heard this before, but you don't know how to act on it. You don't know what it actually fucking means. So what does it actually mean? It means stop giving baby back bitch energy, bro. And I am the worst at this, right? I am the one who's giving the most baby back bitch energy out of anyone. This is what matters the most, is your intention going into conversation. Because that's what it comes through with. It's with your body language and your tone. Your intention shines through there. It also means that your words don't really matter, bro. So here's a Grenoble rule. Trademark. Grenoble rule is never think of what you're going to say before you act. Don't think of what you're going to say before you go up and try and be friends with this dude, before you try and start this conversation, before you try and get this girl's phone number, bro. Don't think of the thing to say. Just go do it. Because the words are going to come. And because words are only 7%, they don't really fucking matter anyway. What matters is your intention. And if your intention isn't to offend or hurt someone, 9 times out of 10, you're not going to. And that 1 time out of 10, bro, you probably don't want to hang around that person anyway, because you don't want to hang with people that you feel like you have to step on eggshells with, right? And this is good news too, because this means that like a skill in a skill tree, you can just rush. You can rush body language and tone. which is incredible because you already know what confident people sound like, how they act, right? And if you don't, just go watch freaking Top Gun, bro. Look at Tom Cruise. See what he does. But literally just trying to adopt these things that other people are doing who are already confident is going to get you there. You're faking it until you make it. That is the next point. You've heard that over and over before. Fake it until you make it. But what does that actually mean? How do you actually do it? This advice works because just like me in the boat story, you start adopting responsibility before you are ready for it. And this is good. This is good because you are never going to feel like you're ready. With the big things in life, you are never going to feel like you're ready to take that responsibility. You have to take that leap of faith. And by doing this, you're going to fail. But you're also going to learn. And then it gets easy. This is the key to expanding your comfort zone. Works just the same in social skills as it does with driving a boat, right? With any other part of life. In reality, this actually looks like in your day-to-day, being the first to speak in class, maybe even without raising your hand, bro. It looks like speaking loudly and expressively like I'm doing to you right now. Making sure that you're doing that every single day. It means making eye contact and saying hello to your coworkers every time you walk in the building, bro, every time you see them. By doing these things every single day, you're going to start becoming the person who does them naturally. So this is your action step right now. Go ahead, get a piece of paper or a sticky note. Write down, be overcome by self-belief. Be overcome by self-belief. I want you to stick that up on your wall. Somewhere you're going to see it every single day because you're going to look back at that and think, okay, what's that thing that Luke said about confidence, about self-belief, and not just having it in one area, but being overcome by it? How am I going to implement that today? And you might be thinking, it's going to be weird for me just to start acting confident one day, and people are going to think I'm fake. Bro, it's egotistical as hell if you think that you are going to just be a completely different person tomorrow, right? What's going to happen is you're going to try. You're going to try to be a completely different person. And naturally, you're not going to, right? You're going to fail because fear and old habits are going to kick in. So what it's going to look like is you're going to be 1% more confident tomorrow. The day after that, you're going to be 1% more confident than you were that day, right? It's going to be this slow progression, even if you just try and be more confident. Like if you try and just snap your fingers and be more confident, it's going to be a slow progression anyway. You're going to speak one sentence with boldness, right? You're going to speak loudly and expressively one time, and you're going to forget again for another few sentences. And then you're going to bring it up again and be like, oh my God, I have to speak boldly. But it's going to take time. And this is good, right? Because it's going to be a natural process. And I will tell you, bro, I'm going to say people are going to treat you the same. The people who have known you forever. They're going to treat you the same for a while. And it's not because they want what's best for you. It's not because this is who you are. This is the box that you're supposed to be in, right? It's because people can't emotionally accept change that they can rationally accept over time. People don't want to change. It's scary for them. And you are a part of their life. So if you are changing, they don't want that to happen, right? They're going to continue treating you as you were. But over time, after emotionally they get over it, they're going to rationally accept that this is just who you are now. It's just who you are. But the thing is, you have to keep acting the same way anyway, in spite of people treating you as if you were this old version of yourself. So I'm going to tell you really fast the story about how my parents gained respect for me, because whenever I moved home after college, right, I didn't 100% feel that respect. And that, to be fair, totally could be in my own mind. But whenever I moved home, I didn't have a job. And I did that on purpose, right? I wanted to focus completely and learn the basics of getting content creation down, right? Of starting a business. And it just kind of looked like I was locking myself away in my room for hours at a time to my parents. So they didn't really know what was happening. So there wasn't a whole lot of respect there. But over time, right? When I said, sorry, Ma, I love you. And I'd love to go to pizza night, but I really can't. I have this YouTube work to do. I've worked for my business. I have a client call, right? They saw that I respected my time, that I valued myself. And they said, oh shit, something is actually happening. And then I started making money. Oh shit, something is actually happening. This isn't just some kid who moved into his parents' house because he wanted the comfort of it. This is a guy who's on a mission to start a business and change the world in the small way that he can. They started to see that. That's starting to click for them because I believed it first, right? I started acting that way. And then I proved it. And this is exactly what you're doing. The main point of this I want you to take away is that you determine your own worth. right? By being bold and asking for what you want, people start to believe that you are worth it. You have to ask for what you want, or else someone else is going to decide it for you. And that's what I'm about to fucking leave you with, bro. That is fucking facts right there. All right, so you're on your way to becoming a social celebrity, bro. If you're watching videos like this, and I'm incredibly proud of you for that. If you want even more help doing that, if you want to get there even faster, you want my one-to-one help, the first link in the description is the Social Celebrity Accelerator, where we're going to work one-on-one for months at a time. Go ahead and hit that first link right now. And until then, bro, until I see you again, act now and become unstoppable.